I went to the cemetery because if you want to learn how to live, if you want to know what's important in life, go to the place where we put dead people. I encourage you to go to the cemetery. My wife asked, what the heck are you doing there? There's no family of mine buried there, that cemetery. And I've wife, a kid. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. What the heck was I doing at the cemetery? Well, this is what you will learn once you go. First of all, cemeteries are beautiful places. If you go in a terrible weather, it might seem spooky, but usually cemeteries are beautiful places full of life. You think you'll find death there, but you will find life. You will find the flowers blossoming, trees growing, the birds singing. It was beautiful. The last thing I thought about was death. There was only life there. It was beautiful how life kept growing and nature expressing. Like there was only life. Even under the earth, you have the worms, you have life, you have all the insects. There is life there, the roots. And the bodies themselves, they contribute to much more life. Your body, it's a rental. Your body is a rental. None of this belongs to you. The atoms that make up your body, they were used in other stuff before. A tree, a worm, Beethoven's pinky finger, and now they're you for a little while. And then they become something else. A flower, a tree, or that worm again. So it's all rented. And all of this goes back to nature. So there's only life and the continuation of life. The opposite is not death. Life itself has no opposite. It keeps flowing. It keeps changing form. But you will not find death at the cemetery. It's a beautiful place. And when you look at, well, there are dead people there, right? What are all these names on the headstones? And the first thing you will realize is, when I walked on that cemetery, a lot of the headstones had a notice on them. And it was basically saying the lot, or whatever you call that, is about to expire. It's about to expire. Because people always say, well, the last home, your resting place. It's not your resting place even. Because your grave, most likely, is going to be there for a while. And then they dig you up and put you somewhere else. Because not even... You own nothing in this universe. You take care of it for a while. You take care of this body. It's not yours. You think you're purchasing a house or a piece of earth. You think you can purchase a piece of earth? That is ridiculous. You can take care of it for a while and you can pay for the privilege. But you can never truly own something. And it continues in death. Not even that little plot of land where you are buried. You're not even staying there. They're going to dig you up. And you will be forgotten. Don't worry, there's not going to be a negative video. There's a beauty in this. You will be forgotten. And you notice all the older graves, and it's not much. 1 generation, 2, 3 generations, that's a lot already. These graves are usually the ones with a notice on them that the lot, the lease or whatever you call it, is about to expire. Isn't that beautiful? You will be forgotten. You will be forgotten. Isn't it funny that we live on a planet where everyone is so anxious what the other person thinks of them? It's like 8 billion people walking around being paralyzed and fearful what the others think of them. And we are all just sparks of life. We're here and we extinguish. And we extinguish. We come into being and extinguish. And all these 8 billion sparks, wondering what the others think about them, wondering how I appear to the world, what will they think of me? You will be forgotten so quickly, you have no idea. And that's the natural course of life. Imagine everyone would be grieving eternally or remembering eternally. Life doesn't deal with the past, doesn't tarry with yesterdays. It keeps on flowing. And this realization will give you a lot of peace in how you live your life. Because you know what you see on those headstones, especially the old ones. Guess my sexy accent. I'm from a country, we used to have a monarchy. And people were very, very proud of their titles, their professions. And it's very often engraved in the headstone. This was his profession. Or he won some kind of medal, some award. Or he had a royal title or delivered to the court or something like this. He was in service of the monarchy. And you will see all of this engraved on the headstone. Doctor titles even. Engineer. All of these things. And there's nothing wrong, please don't misunderstand, there's nothing wrong to be proud of it, right? But we make it into our identity. We think adding names or letters to our names makes us more, makes us enough. And we usually, why do we put it there? We want to show it to other people. In the hopes that they also think that I'm enough, that I'm good enough. And it just goes to show, even in death, we want to show it off. Even in death, we want to know people. I was a doctor. I wasn't just any old person. No, sir, I was a doctor. I was an engineer. I delivered to the court. I was a landowner. Isn't it funny? I always say, no, I'm not always, I'm probably saying it for the first time, but that's how I feel. You have to be able to stand in life in front of the world naked. Keep your clothing on, don't worry, you don't have to strip, but naked. As the pure being of the self that you are, and feel enough. Even if you don't know something, no matter how much you've in your bank account, how famous you are, how rich you are, none of these things, you can strip it all away and just leave you. And you gotta feel enough. Because people spend their entire lives justifying their existence. To their last day, they even engrave it on their headstone. Look at me, look who I was. I was enough, I've made it. But who are they telling it to? You think a random, I was there, like, who are you telling? Your family knew. A random visitor who somehow spends a Saturday afternoon walking a cemetery. Now he knows. All these things that we work for, all these hours we spend, years and decades we dedicate of our lives to accomplish something. Who are we doing it for? And nothing is more powerful than in death. Because all of this, it'll be stripped away, it will be gone. You can still try to write it on your headstone, but you know it's gone. You know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were a doctor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you can't become one. It doesn't mean that you can't be proud of it. But don't make it your identity, and don't justify your existence through it. Your name. There's a name on the headstone. You think you're that name? You think that is who you are? The nationality. I saw different nationalities in. That's not. It's so funny of how we grow up and we believe we are those things. Do you realize how insane it is to believe that you're the citizen of a certain country? Of course, in a way you are, but that's not who you are. Your profession isn't who you are either, nor is your name. None of these things is you. And we use them as crutches to go through life, or to justify our existence, or to identify, well, this is who I am. It's not who you are. And most people are satisfied with the answer. Well, this is my job, this is my name, this is my nationality, this is my culture, this is my family, this is who I am. It barely scratches the surface. That's not who you are. And as long as you think you're that, you're going to be afraid of life, and you're going to be afraid of death. Dying is beautiful because it makes you realize what really matters. Who you essentially are, what can never be stripped of you. Because all these things, people in sports especially, people are like, oh, a legend. He's a legend, a world record for the ages. Oh, it's never going to be broken. Oh, how often I've heard that, and how often it was broken. And they always talk about a legend that will always be remembered. That's not how life works. You will be forgotten. All your accomplishments, all your medals, all the statues, they'll turn to dust, just like you do, or your body. What are you chasing in life? What are you doing in life? What is really important? Are you doing these things because you think they will make you enough to impress other people, to justify your existence? What a sad way to live our lives. I spent many decades trying to justify my existence, trying to prove to the world that I'm good enough. And once I saw who I was, I laughed at the idea. I was like, this is crazy. What was I doing? I was like asleep. And that's what most of us are. We spend our time on earth, this precious time, doing things that don't matter. Even Taylor Swift, she'll be forgotten. The great politicians, they'll be forgotten. All the superstars and movie stars, they'll all be forgotten. Ask your grandpa what the famous movie star in his day was. He won't, well, if he remembers, look it up. Look it up from a couple of years ago. No one knows them anymore. They were the biggest stars of their day. Everyone thought, wow. No one will remember it. Your children don't remember what was popular in your day. It doesn't matter how exalted and popular people are, you will fade away. But that's beautiful. You see a flower. Oh, there we go. We've got flowers. You see how beautiful they are? You think they're worried about withering, about fading away? And that's the reason they're so beautiful. They don't try to be remembered. They don't try to impress. You are a wave in the eternal ocean of life. But you don't know that. You think you're an isolated wave, an isolated blob, and you want to be remembered. The ocean couldn't imagine every wave try to be remembered. Well, that wave is called Matthias. Sure, he's gone. Matthias is gone. I want to be remembered. You will not be remembered. You will be forgotten. And that's beautiful because that's how life works. All the things you're chasing, you can put it on your gravestone. You can put it on, just like a LinkedIn profile. You can put it all in your headstone. No one will care. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful because you get to live your life the way you want to. Then you can be free of judgment, free of the fear of it. Because it's never judgment, it's your fear of it. Free of the opinions of other people. And you can realize who you really are, because once you strip it away, once you see a headstone, you think any of those people, this eternal life that we put a stamp, well, this is when he was born, this is when he died, that's what he was called, he was this nationality. We put these things, we add them to us, onto us, or they're added onto us by other people. But that's not who you are. And that will make you realize it. Who are you? Do you know who you are? This beautiful expression of life that you are. Just like everything is expressing, like a tree, a flower, the whole world is blossoming. And you are part of the blossoming of life. We just gave you a name. and you have a memory and a history. And then you think you are that. So you're not. You're none of that. Oh. And there's another thing, all the little things that we worry about. I saw one thing, one of the gravestones, I was like, oh my God. It was a young man and his mother, more people, but it was the mother and the young man, the son. And the son was born in, God knows, in 1922. And he died in 1944. But it didn't say die, it was a missing in action in Russia. And the mom lived for another 40 years or something. And I was like, oh my God. Me, for instance, I have a kid. Just the thought of that. That poor little bastard died in the cold somewhere in Russia. In some kind of ditch. They never found him. He froze to death, most likely, or was captured, tortured, and froze to death there. It doesn't. He was missing, and his mother never heard of him for the rest of her life. It was never confirmed he was dead. She probably kept her hopes up for a couple of years because prisoners kept returning decades after. In my street, there was a woman. She was snatched up by the Russians during the war, like after the war. After the war, she was snapped up by the Russians, and she returned decades later. Where is she? Like you'd probably think she was dead, and and the same way it goes for that mother. That mother was probably worried to death. Every day, every time there was a knock on the door, she had that slight hope. And eventually she had to give it up, but she never saw her son again. Now that is something. If that doesn't touch you, if that doesn't move you, and then compare it to the stuff that we usually worry about, the things we give our attention to. You know how often we hear people complain about parking spaces. Oh, there's not enough parking spaces. Oh, look at he's driving. He didn't even use the indicator. Ah. You know how often I hear that? And I'm like, none of this matters. Sometimes I catch myself being involved mentally in something that doesn't really matter. It's the small stuff. Just let it go. You see stories like this and you're reminded of what really matters. Now, again, you are this eternal, beautiful life expressing as a human being for a little while, and we stamp the name and the nationality onto that, and you believe you are that, but that's not who you are. You're a beautiful expression, a wave in the eternal ocean of life, and that is who you are. So that body that's buried there is not you. It's not even your body, it's a rental, and you're just giving it back to where it came from. How much did you love? How much were you loved? How much did you give? Who will cry when you die? Who will miss you? Again, you will be forgotten, no matter how beautiful and wonderful you are, and you are. Make a difference in someone's life. Make a difference in your life first so you can make a difference in someone else's life. And you will see there's no death, there's only life. When I die, the last thing on my lips, I just want to say thank you. Thank you that I got to be alive, that I got to experience being human, that I got to experience hugging, touching, kissing, seeing this beautiful world. You are gifted all of this every day. And one day it's going to be over. Live in such a way that you can say thank you. Thank you that I was here. Not it's over. Oh God, I have to die. Someday someday it's gonna be over. But you got to live. You've got to be alive. You had the privilege of walking on earth. Isn't that wonderful? And I know you will forget and you will sweat the small stuff again. Get upset about little things. Happens to the best of us, happens to me, happens to you. It's human, don't worry. But I got a reminder. I write a message Monday to Friday every day in your inbox. Subscribe to it. It's called Messages from Life. Sign up below. It's a message from my soul to you, reminding you of who you are and why the heck you showed up on planet Earth and what really matters in this life. Go visit a cemetery.